Here's a little bit of a throwback for you. I thought I'd dig out some unseen images of me when I was suffering a massive nervous breakdown in 2016. My dad had died from liver and brain cancer. My marriage broke down of 14 years. I was with him 14 years and I was married for 9 years. So that broke down. I had a stillbirth. I gave birth to a little boy, but he was born sleeping, and that absolutely destroyed me. And I had a funeral for him, and he's overlooking the sea in Cyprus, which is where I was on holiday when he died, sadly. But I came back in 2010 and I tried to carry on with my life, and it didn't quite work out because I was a victim then of physical, mental and sexual abuse, physical harassment, sexual harassment and emotional abuse from the man that I'd married, the man that I thought I could trust. And that was very, very difficult, and it is for any woman or man that suffers from narcissistic abuse. Now, these abusers, they spend most of the time gaslighting you, so they will make up stories about you that aren't true. So that's called gaslighting. Okay, and the way that they do this is they play mind games with you. So everything that you do or say is twisted to suit them. Anything that you do positive, they will pull down and rip you to shreds. You know, it's pretty nasty what they do. And these people are psychologically inept, and they get a kick out of it. And that is what they feed upon. They feed upon that kick that they get from you because it makes them feel better. But these people are sexually deprived, psychologically deprived, emotionally deprived. And even as children, they're deprived of love and attention from the parents. So they don't really understand how to give that. So they have to try and learn it as adults, and it doesn't quite work out for them because they don't know what love is, they don't know what empathy is, and unfortunately that's how they end up in marriages. And that was a bit of a shock for me, because when I first met him, he wasn't like that. He put on this bit of an act that he was a decent person, and he was far from it. And it destroyed my life. I lost £82,000 of a mortgaged house. I lost a lot of money, but I cut my losses and I moved away, and I was very, very poorly for 2 years. I suffered a nervous breakdown in 2016, and I was sectioned. I received a lot of help from mental health services, and I had a support worker. I still got a support worker, but she sits a bit in the background a little bit now, and she just deals with people that are causing me distress. So anybody that causes me distress, if I report it to her, she then deals with it for me. So I've kind of got someone looking out for me there. And so that is what it's like living with mental illness. And recovering from mental illness is not something that you get over lightly. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a daily progress that you have to be focused on. You have to keep your mind focused on that goal that you want to achieve. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to get your health back to normal, if you want to get your mind and your security, emotional self back to normal, that is what you need to focus on, you know. And you can't do that if you're in a relationship with someone. You can't just come out of one relationship and rebound straight into another one. especially if it's an abusive relationship. You need time to heal from that before you get into another relationship. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that happens progressively. So I thought I would share some photographs of what I was like in 2016 when the council wanted to evict me from my home, when I was going through the biggest hell of my life, and it wasn't very nice at all. And yeah, I was in a very, very dark place then. But that's the past, okay? What I am today, what I am now, who I am now is a reformed person, okay? I went through the prison system because I tried to kill myself at home. I set fire to my home whilst I was inside it. I wasn't outside. I didn't pour petrol through the letterbox. I was inside the house and I tried to kill myself because I was so depressed and I was so poorly that I couldn't see a future. I couldn't see a life without this man who had been abusing me for 7 years, physically, mentally, and sexually. So, I spent the last year before the pandemic started supporting women through music therapy, and that helped me to heal. It helped me to give something back after I was released from prison. And I gained a lot of qualifications when I was in prison, so I don't hold that as a grudge in any way to anyone. Those times of my life were growth to me. It was time for growth. It wasn't a time for regrets. It wasn't a time for grudges. It wasn't a time for, revenge or anything like that. It was a time for change in myself. And that's what I did. I did a lot of changes in myself, my appearance, in who I was as a person. I worked with my psychiatrist and I became a different personality to the one that I was or that I became because of my marriage to a narcissist. So I did an awful lot of work upon myself. And, it makes me laugh really that people try to use that against me in some way, because to me, when you make mistakes in life, I'm a great believer that you come back fighting from it and you learn from it. You learn from your mistakes. And people that hold your mistakes against you, they obviously aren't over their own mistakes either, right? That's all it is to them. They are jealous that you have overcome your mistakes, those skeletons in the closet, okay?